You had every right, my dear brother, to believe that I was very inattentive not to have answered your letter. But my dear brother, if only you could see how much I miss you and my family. I'm so far away from New York City, but your letters, with all the fine things, make me feel more free. Barker makes living in Europe harder and harder, for Barker's mind is full of politics, and he never notices my lonesomeness. If only Barker was smarter to leave time for his family, then maybe he would see he's not such a charmer. Alexander, I had hoped you would be curious about my silence, for I am serious about us. Thus, if Eliza never had laid eyes on you first, I wouldn't be a church. I do not write by this packet to either of my sisters, nor to my father. Alexander, why can't you see that we're smarter together? There could be something there. Obviously, I am not talking about an affair, for thus there would be consequences, and you need to keep the people's trust. Thus, I will leave it alone while I sit here in my home, writing this letter to you, alone.
Winter at Valley Forge, December 1777. George Washington. We come back from the battles of Brandywine and Philadelphia, 1777, with defeat. Our spirits crushed. Winter's upon us. My men are freezing out there, gathering straw for beddings and huts. This army must inevitably be reduced to one or the other of three things: starve, dissolve, or disperse. Lieutenant William Barton.
We have been without flesh for a week. No blankets for our frozen toes. Our soldiers have very few clothes. Some are lucky enough to have at least 2 shirts. For me, I expected to have been at home before this, but cannot obtain leave until we go into quarters.
February 1778. I doubt our chances of challenging the Redcoats are high. I've written letters to Congress asking for any supplies to aid the army, but to no avail. 2,000 at camp have perished from disease.
I wish to go home. My attire is still lacking, but the rules are strict, and I am unable to leave. I thank my father for the few pounds of sugar and a little chocolate he has sent me, but the food here continues to be scarce.
I regret to inform you of Lieutenant William Barton's present illness. He is very unwell these past 10 days, in no appearance of getting any better. Unfortunately, he'll need an appeal to leave camp, but even then he is too weak to ride on horseback. His family will need to send a wagon.
The tax on tea. Yeah, it's so expensive.
You know, this tea that I'm drinking is not taxed. Tastes lovely. All this extra money, Maya, from just a little tax on the colonists. It teaches the peasants who's superior, and it's helpful to everyone.
What is this? I mean, sure, they're taxing on tea everywhere, but it's so much worse here in Boston. We work and we work. This is berserk. What a jerk.
Well, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do?
Yeah, you heard what I said.
Yeah, I heard what you said, but with all this stuff happening, I don't know how we're gonna attack and fight back without painting targets in our back.
I got it.
You got it?
We gonna have a party.
A Boston party.
And there'll be tea.
How about we throw it in the sea?
Hey, fellas, I heard what you were saying, and I want to help in getting King George to shut his mouth. If we want to make their pockets feel the pain, we must destroy what those ships contain. Work faster, fellas. Right, men, we have 339 chests left to go in 3 hours. You think we can do it?
You boys think we can do this in under 4 hours?
Heck yeah!
Huzzah!
The next day.
Good work, boys. We managed to empty all chests aboard the ships commanded by Captains Bruce Hall and Coffin.
Ha! They didn't expect a thing!
Did you hear? John Andrews just said he was satisfied in the paint. This was an excellent idea.
Every ship aboard the 3 vessels was knocked to pieces and flung over each sides. This is awesome!
I know, right?
It's in the page.
Fellas, I'm not so sure about that.
Or maybe not.